Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of The Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational system. Teaches literacy and social skills to students, and I have been a teacher for 27 plus years. I wrote this with my mom, The Happy Little Garbage Truck, because it actually seemed to be a really wonderful vehicle to teach self esteem. And one of the little guys that I was teaching loved garbage trucks. And it seemed like, just a perfect venue to teach this child to feel good about himself. And I said, how many other children really enjoy and appreciate this material? And so we created it into a picture book with supporting materials. A teacher's guide, which helps a teacher go through each lesson in a scripted manner. And it was this, if I were there coaching you um, and helping you to know which level a student might be reading at. It has like a tiered lesson plan. So, it's just a lot of things that I kept thinking, oh, they would need this. So it was as if I were there working with you to teach your class. So that's why I really love that whole system. And there's an activity book for children. Well, we've been talking about implicit bias and how to think for yourself. See Hereford's wonderful article. And this is like part 4 of the 5-prong attack that she had as we're learning how to think for ourselves. And my thought is that we're doing this, modeling this for the students that we teach and for the children that we have at home. Number 4, let me go through the other parts, just in case you're just visiting us. The first one is develop a strong sense of self, which takes some evaluation. Stay well informed. Be flexible, as I have to today, because I don't know if you can hear the garbage truck talking about garbage trucks, picking up trash right outside my window. And then the fourth one, after being flexible, is identify biases. And that is a really difficult thing for us to do because we think within our hearts, I'm not a biased person. But implicit bias is something that we don't even realize that we have. And I shared the story about my one parent who I thought, oh, I'm going to have a little trouble with this parent. And he turned out to be a wonderful, one of the best parents that I ever had, helping out our classroom. And he actually helped my whole purchase of the house by helping me fix up some of the things in the house with his little guy there sitting on a paint bucket while all the other workers are working in this one area. The little guy was so behaved, and I said, what a good dad. He knows his dad said to sit still, and he did. So looking at implicit bias, the American Academy of Family Physicians states that bias is an unconscious collection of stereotypes and attitudes that we develop towards groups of people. And so they took the implicit part and wrote, different pieces that we can use as this anagram unfolds to break through our own implicit biases. So I stands for introspection. Explore and identify your own biases, and this might come from self-tests or online self-analysis. But you're trying to break down and figure out what part of your own thought process is implicit. M is for mindfulness. Once we find ourselves under pressure or fear, stress, we tend to, lean to those old stereotypes. So we take breathing exercises to slow ourselves down, which is another point later on. We take perspective, do perspective taking, try to imagine what that person's life is like, and try to imagine if you were being looked upon in the way that you're looking upon this other person. It does change your approach. Another one is learn to slow down for the L and implicit. When talking with someone from another group, it's easy to be reactive. Try to slow down and be responsive. listen carefully, do some responsive communication. Did I hear you say that, this was happening? And, show that you're engaged, but not making like an analysis of who they are as a person. Individuation, take each person as an individual. And that really takes a lot of work, and not just as a representative of a group. Oh, that person's so and so, so they're like this, whatever. And then the C is check your messaging. Instead of saying, I don't see color, just, check that a little bit and use statements that show that you're attempting to get to understand the person a bit better outside of the group context that you might have put them in. And the other I is institutionalize fairness for your group. And I'll give you an example of that next time. And then take two, it's a lifelong practice. So we have to start anew every day. We all have biases and we all have implicit ones. So it just takes work. And it becomes a little easier each time until we're able to just break through, and then there might be another group that you're finding yourself being biased towards. It's not funny, but it's just like it's ongoing. And that's the thing that's sort of humorous to me, is that, I finally broke through that bias, and then I'm confronted with another one. But this is part of being human. We're not a finished product, we're a work in progress. So until next time, please share, please subscribe, and thank you so much for being here.